In the last video, I shared 5 income streams for creators and how to market yourself on third-party platforms. Before that video, I talked about how I launched this channel in 2020 and how that led to a growing email list, digital products sold, and clients booked. Then I made the biggest mistake to shut down everything. Well, now I'm all set after relaunching in May and in less than 2 weeks. And saying that now, I'm actually proud of myself because before this launch, it would have taken me weeks or months just to get the homepage up. Watching this video helped me realize it was a combination of lack of confidence, even though I've done this before, fear of failure, and I don't want to do it. And in my case, I didn't even start yet, and I'm over it already. But this go around, I gave myself a pep talk, which was really, don't piss me off, Marge. Launch now, fix it later. So today I want to show you how I launched a website, podcast, and a newsletter in 2 weeks. If you're in the same boat, lacking confidence, fear of failure, or don't want to do it mood, then keep watching. Take this as a pep talk so you'll be ready for the next video, which will go over how to plan and launch your website. So as always, with every project, put on my project manager hat and then start with questions that need answers. The first question is, what are the main goals? For the website, it's for clients and content. I want to add my services and have a page for the blog and podcasts. So this means I need the following: home, services, sales page for each service, a contact page, and pages for the blog and the podcast. For the tech side, I already had my domain through Google Domains, which is now under Squarespace. So that's $12 every year. All I'm missing was the web host. I had SiteGround the last time, but the price went up to $150, and I didn't want to pay that much for a starter website, especially since the price goes up every year for the same features. I used Namecheap for domains, but I saw they have WordPress hosting for under $50, and it was on sale at the time, so I paid the $34 and got started. Once I got all set up, I put up the coming soon page, customized the settings, and added the main plugins, so WordFence security, the Elementor theme builder, the post duplicator, and this is creating duplicate pages and posts, pretty links. This is a URL shortener, which uses my domain name, and the podcast player. I couldn't find any themes I liked, but I'm assuming the kit library was added because I used the Hello theme from Elementor. So I just chose the Ceramic Studio template and called it a day. I spent most of my time customizing the template and then moved on to the text. I'll go over what you need for each page in the next video, but for now, here's what I added. The home page was just a tagline, how I help, who I help, links to the services, and a section for the podcast. For the services page, I posted 3 services, and those lead to 3 separate pages for each service. Under each sales page, there's a one-liner about the service, who I help, buttons at the top, middle, and end of the page to apply or schedule a call, and outlining what's included, testimonials, and FAQs. The contact page is just a contact form. The blog is separate from the podcast, so these are just written posts and YouTube videos. The podcast has an about section where you can listen to the podcast, a link to sign up for the email list, a podcast player, and all the posts listed below that. The newsletter page has a form and what readers will get once they sign up. And for other pages, I have a resources page with affiliate links there. Also the legal pages, the privacy, and the terms. I used images from Canva, Unsplash, and Pexels, and that's basically it for the site. I kept it simple and made updates as I went, like making sure every page was mobile friendly, all the links worked and buttons clicked, and checking the page speed. For the podcast and newsletter, I'm using Substack for both. I spent most of my time figuring things out in the settings, but it was super easy to set up compared to MailerLite with their new platform. Set up your podcast in Substack. You can watch this video here. In quick summary, you can go to the settings page, add a new podcast here, and then add your info for the podcast. You then set up Spotify and Apple accounts so Substack can distribute your episodes. There wasn't much I needed to do for the newsletter. Once you choose the subscribers on your list, it's just like publishing a blog post from here. Since I'm starting from scratch, I just send podcast episodes until I start growing my list. So that's less than 1 week of working on the website, and then a few days figuring out Substack and then setting up the podcast. If you want to launch your website or a podcast, you need to get into the good enough mode. You wait too long, and before you know it, it's Happy New Year, and now you're pissed off. For some inspiration, here are 3 videos that helped me get my mind right and ready to launch. The first 2 are just for you if your goal is to be a full-time creator. When you're ready, come back and watch the next video, which is to plan and launch your website.